so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this year. There's been so much hype.
We should have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Toro.
Maryland's got Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard footballers for
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And you see who I'm with. It's Saturday, so you know who I'm with. My guy, Mr. Alex Loosmore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. Really excited off that big win last week in rivalry week for us. Well,
nothing green is on today, ladies and gentlemen. No green is on today.
Excited for some massive college football games today.
Yes.
Absolutely massive.
Absolutely. Yes. I cannot wait to see all of the games we have. Obviously, as you guys know, Tennessee versus Georgia, 1 versus 3. But, I mean, maybe the elephant in the room, can the Crimson Tide win over number 10 LSU? Because one more loss, and they could be out the picture. It's going to be quite interesting. But look, we are going to start. Appreciate you guys who are watching us. Oh, this Gator. The Gator. Yes, sir. Mr. Andrew Faubert, North Sports Dynasty, man. Check him out. Yo, y'all were great last night. Y'all were great, Andrew, man. I was definitely paying attention to that. But yeah, let's go into it. Let's real quick. We've been following all year the coaching carousel. Last week we gave you a couple names to watch out for that kind of got paid and it's not working out on the field.
Yeah.
This situation is kind of different. The writing's been on the wall since maybe the off season.
Yeah,
and I think the biggest question was, how did he retain his job so long? Brian Harsin gets the axe. What do you think about this, Alex?
So I said this a few weeks ago. I think it was really just they were kind of looking to see what other options they had outside of Harsin.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, they named Cadillac Williams the interim head coach.
Yes, they did.
There's rumors of a certain Deion Sanders going there, maybe.
I've heard that.
I don't buy those. I think he's happy at Jackson State, and I think he's kind of eyeing the Florida State job down the line.
Yeah.
Just because people are going back to their alma maters a lot, but yeah, I think it was more just kind of wait and see, and everyone knew he was going to get fired eventually. They've been awful.
Yeah.
But I think it was just kind of okay, when we fire him, who do we have to take over for him for the rest of the season? And then who do we keep our eye on for next season? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They were setting it up from the back, kind of trying to do it in a way so it's not like it instantly falls off. Because, look, like you said, they've been in some of these games. They were up on LSU. You know what I mean? They scored 34 against Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss scored nearly 50. But, you know what I mean? You know, the only games that they were really out of was, I mean, the Penn State game, the Georgia game. They got stomped in those. But, look, they were playing. And I think kind of each week they're like, we're looking for a horrible loss. We're looking for a horrible loss. You know what I mean? And then you have the Missouri game where it's like, oh, this would have been a horrible loss. And then he fumbles it out of the end zone. And you get the W. And it's like, oh, damn, we got to keep him another week.
Yeah, one more week, one more week. Like,
right. So, I mean, look, I don't even want to say it's about time. We all kind of saw it coming. When the AD was fired earlier in the year, you know, that was the only one really pulling for him. The boosters really took control. But there is new movement over there. Didn't they hired a new AD, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, they hired somebody from within the Mississippi State program.
Yes.
Brought them over as the AD for Auburn now. I can't remember his name, but
Auburn is dealing with injuries, and the recruiting class wasn't overly exciting from this year. Yeah, I mean,
this recruiting class just got worse. A bunch of people decommitted.
Exactly. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. Like, they're kind of at the bottom. But let's see. Hopefully they can bring it back up. They have talent there in Hank Bigsby. We know about the backup quarterback, Robbie Ashford, or the freshman. You know, so they have talent. Let's see if they can,
absolutely,
you know, kind of pull it together, man. Hopefully our basketball teams do well this year. Hey, speaking of one basketball team that will do great this year, Tar Heel Nation, baby. Let's go. College basketball is right around the corner.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, my goodness. Alex, don't let me find out that you would like to talk about college basketball because there might be a tear that will come down my eye. Alex, I have already been watching preseason games, Alex. Come on, man.
Me and my brother were talking about, we had an exhibition game last night, Michigan did, or the other day, and we were talking about that, and like Juwan Howard's kid went off, and yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. You saw it live, ladies and gentlemen. We have booked it. There will be a show. We will have Kate Alverson will definitely show up, talk about her stuff. I know Nathan will sit here and come in and talk about it. You know, we're going to do some college basketball stuff. But right now, we're talking college football right on time. Go Dogs. What's up, Colin Matthew? Let's go. Absolutely. But, yeah, so, you know, Brian Harsin gets the axe. They've moved on. We've seen what they're doing. Let's see what they're going to do. Today they have Mississippi State at 5-3. This could get away from them early. We know what Mississippi State offense is like. Will Rogers leading definitely the SEC in passing. But let's see if Auburn, you know, switches it up. We saw what happened in Georgia Tech when Jeff Collins got fired. Then all of a sudden they win their next game and they're in the next one, you know, before it ended up losing. So let's see what happens after this. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know, it's getting a little chilly outside. You know what I mean? I don't know where actually
here right now.
I was about to say, where you guys are. It's been a little chilly. Yeah, I am in Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, and it's getting a little chilly. We're getting there because it's November. It is November 5th on this Saturday, and when it gets a little cold, when it gets to November, we have games almost every day of the week. We had two Tuesday night games, a couple Wednesday night games, Thursday night, and Friday night games. We're not going to try to dive into all of that. No. Because we would absolutely be here.
9 games to catch up on and discuss.
Right. So we're going to do a brief little recap. Ball State beat Kent State 27-20. This is on Tuesday night. And Ohio put up 45 on Buffalo. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And won 45-24. Then in Wednesday games, shout out to Kate in Central Michigan, got the win over Northern Illinois 35-22. Lou Nichols returned in this game. He had been out 2 games prior to this. It was good to see him back on the field. They went up 21-0 like at halftime. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this game was pretty much over early. And then in the opposite game, there was Western Michigan playing Bowling Green where no touchdown, maybe one touchdown was scored. None, I don't think so. I think it was 3 field goals. Field goals on the other side.
Western Michigan had 3 field goals, and then Bowling Green had 2 field goals and a touchdown. Yeah. Oh no, sorry.
Was it all field goals?
No, Western Michigan got a touchdown. They went for 2 though.
That's what. Okay.
Yeah, and then they failed. So they got the 6 and then a field goal.
Would you guys agree that some of the smaller schools can make a bowl appearance? Look, if you get and you asked this, exactly. You asked this earlier. 6 wins is a requirement to get in the bowl. These small schools will definitely have the opportunity. Now they're not. Now, if you mean make a New Year's 6 appearance, you're gonna have to pretty much be undefeated with pretty quality wins to make it a serious
You get one group of 5 school gets an automatic bid to a New Year's 6 bowl. That's why we saw Cincinnati against Georgia the first year, where Cincinnati really kind of came out the blue there. Why we had UCF versus LSU a couple of years back when they were national champions. That one. So currently it's set up to be UCF just because the CFP poll has them as the highest group of 5 team. But it's UCF, Cincinnati's right there, Liberty's right there at 7-1. They're all making a push here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Central definitely has made a bowl game. Again, like 6 wins gets you into a bowl. So these guys are going to get in. But I think we're talking about, I think what he was referred to was the New Year's 6 bowls, the CFP, the college football playoffs and things like that. So yeah, until they expand it, those other teams, look, you can't lose a game. They don't have the luxury of being in Alabama or Power 5 where it's like you can lose a game and still have quality of strength of schedule. You know what I mean? Or quality matchup. You know what I mean? So
you look at it last year, since he was the 4 seed and they were undefeated, they barely snuck in.
Exactly.
Like there was talks of them versus Ohio State, and there were a few teams in that discussion, and they ultimately gave it to Cincinnati, but it was tough for them to get in while being undefeated.
Oh yeah, and their biggest friend, I believe, was it Baylor? Baylor upset in Oklahoma State because Oklahoma State was 5. They would have hopped up and they would have been in there, and so them losing that game definitely hurt them. What's going on, Anthony? Oh, I know you're happy. I know you are happy. Hey, real quick, man. We definitely got to do this. Anthony Handy and Colin Pashew are hosts of This Week in Georgia Football. My guy Anthony Handy and his beautiful wife celebrated their 11th wedding anniversary yesterday.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary to you, man. And I don't know if you saw the pictures online, Alex. That food was absolutely. I'm sitting here eating like a taco. Like, damn, man, look at this guy. I'm like, damn. But happy anniversary to you, man. Y'all looked amazing. I'm so happy for you, man. And watch him Mondays and Thursdays. Yeah. But if you get the L, I hope you still go on.
Oh. Wow.
I didn't mean to do it. It's early in the morning. Look, but yeah, man. So going forward from that, Thursday night, we had UTEP lose to Rice. Rice winning on a late touchdown pass late in the game. And then Coastal Carolina with Grayson McCall beat Appalachian State. And Coastal's fans rushed the field. I can dig it, man. I love this. Let me ask you this. First and foremost, I know App State's 5-4, but App State, we all know App State's year. We know who they've gone. They, got the win over Texas A&M. Put 61 up on North Carolina. Dag on it. No defense having it. So this is a quality win for Coastal, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We said it. They beat A&M. They went toe-to-toe with you guys. Toe-to-toe with James Madison, who's another very good team. They had a few slip-ups like Texas State, a couple of those games here and there. But this is still a very good football team. That was back when A&M was still fully healthy. And, they were ranked 6th at the time.
Yeah.
So everyone was kind of assuming A&M we picked Appalachian State in that upset. But this is a very quality win for Coastal Carolina. They keep rolling here. They're in that conversation as well at 8-1 to be in that New Year's 6 bowl. And Grayson McCall has these guys rolling, man.
There it is.
He's solid.
Yeah, Grayson McCall putting up 253 yards and 2 TDs, no interceptions. He is the undisputed leader of that team. And I love what he's doing because, like I said, this is a quality win because App State has definitely put themselves above and beyond that kind of level, you know what I mean, as far as the group of 5. App State's definitely on that, kind of Power 5. Let's knock on that door with some of the games that, like you mentioned. But Coastal, look, they've been like that net. They keep coming around. They keep trying to swat them away, but they're getting to the point where they're getting to that level where it's, hey, you see the resume, 8 wins, 1 loss. We've got quality wins in here, and this is one of them. Look, Anthony said it right here. Grayson McCall, what do you think of the draft spot? Hey, I think he's going to be one of the more underrated. He's going to be in that Jaren Hall category where people are like, okay, I've seen what you've done out at Coastal Carolina, out at BYU, but what can you really do against real competition? So I think, like Zach Wilson, they're going to kind of question it, but Zach Wilson was number 2, Alex.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because when you have a quarterback like Zach Wilson, who, like we just said, went number 2, then it puts eyes on, okay, who's the next guy? We just did with you guys.
Yep.
Sam Howell gets drafted and played very well in college, and it's like, okay, who's the next guy? Like when that guy leaves, you're always all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
So for these guys to come out and perform like they have, like Jaron Hall, I know they've had some losses this year against some damn good football teams, but he's played well almost every single game this year.
Yeah.
So as far as the draft goes, these guys are kind of that late mid-second to like fourth round prospects. But they're all guys that could come in and within a year or two be starters. Like they're all solid quarterbacks.
And we, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to dive into that. When one of these days when we get together during the week, we're going to dive into all of these quarterbacks, because there's a lot of quarterbacks that are up in that upper echelon that we know are going. But there's a lot of guys in that second tier that can, like Alex said, make serious contributions to an organization in the NFL or wherever they play. You know what I mean? So get these guys out there. We've seen how, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, we've seen all these younger guys, but even Malik Willis got an opportunity with Tennessee not too long
Bailey
ago.
Zappi.
Bailey's out, right? Prime example. Yes. So definitely take a look. We're gonna bring that stuff to you. How do injuries play out compared to the NFL? Are there a lot? So in college, in the NFL, you might have a contract for either a year or multiple years. So if you get injured 1 year, you can always come back. College, sometimes if you get hurt, next man up comes up. Somebody might take your spot. I mean, Alex, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, like this. I mean, in terms of the number of injuries, I'd say there's definitely been more big-time ones in the NFL compared to college ball. Yeah. We haven't lost that many key players this year to injuries. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, when it comes down to if I get hurt, if I'm in the NFL and I'm, say, I'll use a lineman, for example, Trent Williams. Well, if I get hurt, I'm not worried about some guy coming to take my spot.
Right.
In college ball, especially if you're at a school like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, like any of these top schools, there's 4 and 5 stars behind you, guys that were just as good as you were in high school, right behind you, hungry for playing time. So they're going to give it everything they got, and your spot could be gone like that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so injuries are a lot more urgent. And in college, because in college, you don't know. You're right around the corner. Let's go on Friday games. UConn beat Mass 27-10, or beat UMass 27-10. Duke and Boston College are in a shootout. Boston College puts up 31, but Duke gets the W 38-31. You know how I feel about Duke. You know where I stand, ladies and gentlemen. Tar Heels, especially in basketball season. But I've got to shout out, Riley Leonard, 158 yards in the air, and then 96 on the ground, rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Come on, man. Riley Leonard is one of those guys that's not top tier, but he's on that second level where he is definitely making a name for himself, man. So Duke, are they're 6-3. They're bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Are they something to fear? Like, what are we talking about?
I think they're a damn good team. Like, it's interesting to see how they've been since Cutcliffe left.
Yeah.
Because it's been that steady incline, They've gotten better and better every week as it seems. Yeah. And, like, Leonard's a sophomore, so he's got to come back next year.
Yeah.
So you get a guy coming back that's played this well this year, is kind of getting into that groove, getting into that rhythm. Like, Duke's not a team to take lightly at all.
Yes, especially going forward. They have Coach Elko, who they're really, really believing in, and you have Moore get 82 yards. You have your quarterback Riley Leonard get 96. I mean, look, they had 230 yards overall as a rushing, team along with Riley Leonard and put up 38 points. So shout out to Duke. That is the only time you'll ever hear me say this. That is for you, Kate. Okay. Now you know I love you. Shout out to Duke. They got the W at 6-3. They're not North Carolina. Let's go. I had to throw that out there. And the other game, number 23, Oregon State got upset by Michael Penix Jr. and Washington, 24-21. Alex, first and foremost, Oregon State, both these teams were 6-2. So even though Oregon State lost, they're still bowl eligible. They're still a solid team to come into this year. But what does this game mean for them going forward?
I don't know that it means as much for Oregon State as it does for Washington.
Yeah.
Because I think overall this is just showing the strength of the Pac-12 this year because, I mean, obviously you've got Oregon, USC, UCLA, Utah, but Washington is playing very well. Oregon State's showing up and playing well. Like Oregon State took USC to their absolute limit earlier this year. That was a dogfight throughout like 3.5 quarters. So it's just showing that the Pac-12 isn't nearly as bad as they've been in the past few years, where it was just like 1 or 2 teams and nobody else. This is a very solid conference right now.
And I love that. I love that credibility that's being brought back to the Pac-12 because look, I mean, let's go back and really think about this. USC, UCLA, Stanford, Cal. These are prestigious programs. And I feel like because of the poor play as of late on the field, and led by the top tier, UCLA. I mean, UCLA hasn't been awful, but USC has not been what they've been in the past.
For years.
Exactly.
It's been a long time.
But I think that, so obviously everybody's looking at daggone the Pac-12 like, oh my God, they're not as good as what they are. They're sleeping giant, man. Don't wake up a sleeping giant because look, we've seen this year, and Utah put everybody on notice playing Ohio State in that bowl game. And when they showed what they can do, I mean, and look, Utah's right there.
Right there.
Ohio State's right there. Let's go. See, they need OU in the middle.
And then Utah went to the swamp this year, went to Florida, and took them to their absolute limit.
Exactly.
So it shows that the top guys there can hang with some of these other big-time teams. Like, they're no slouch anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and in the SEC, it might mean more, but it means something to these Pac-12 teams as well. So let's get it. Let's get it. What's up, Colin said, sorry, Bulls. Ain't going to be no gritty. Now we in hell winning like big. My guy. Let's go.
Oh, I love it.
I see you. Let's go. This makes me want to watch The Blind Side and the highlights of college football. Do it.
I almost watched it the other day.
I'm telling you. Hey, actually, Nicole, if I'm going to recommend a college football movie for you to watch, I'm going to say go Rudy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say go to the Program.
Yes.
Right there. For a little humor, watch Waterboy. There's no accuracy to that to the real college football, but except for some announcers. But watch that for humor. Those I think that's a good start. That's a good little trio to start you in your college football journey, man.
Absolutely.
Let's go. So yeah, those are the games going forward, ladies and gentlemen. For the rest of the month of November, there will be games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Somehow, some way. Among all these shows and everything we're doing, I'm going to try to slip in here, and we're going to do some recaps on some of this stuff because there's so much stuff. And I know it's already, look, time is about to change tomorrow. We already know it's getting cold, and in 2 or 3 months, this will all be gone. So I got to dive into it now, and I know you're with me on that, man.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, man. Oh, your guys are back, man. Here we go. What's going on? Good morning, Jason. Got my Ducks jersey on. Oh, we might have to see that. Look.
Oh, you guys are gonna be fine, Alec. You're playing Colorado.
Alex has already stated how there is a way, especially with the Pac-12 being more of a credible conference now. Oregon wins out. They're in that conversation.
Absolutely.
You know,
like you look at it, you're gonna have a 1 loss either Ohio State or Michigan. You're going to have a 1 loss either Tennessee or Georgia. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a 1 loss conference champion as long as Oregon handles their business. If TCU loses 1 game, they're out.
Yep.
If Alabama loses 1 game, they're out.
Yep.
So, like, there's a real argument. I'm not saying you guys will necessarily get in, but you guys will be in that top 6 in that discussion to get in. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Kate says tailgating is about to be cold and brutal. There we go. Wow. Are you at the Michigan game playing against Rutgers? Oh, yeah. Tailgating. Go ahead.
Oh, we're on the road today. So.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. All right, bet. Yo, let's get into it. Saturday games. Hey, without further ado, Colin's in the comments. Anthony is in the comments. Tennessee versus Georgia. This is the game everybody has been looking forward to. They've been on a collision course for some time now. We've seen all the highlights. We've seen when Georgia rushed the field after Tennessee had won, 9 straight a couple years ago. We've seen all that. Alex. Yeah. What's going to happen in this game, man?
Fireworks. Absolute fireworks. This is
well said.
You want to talk about one of these games that's going to be essentially a clash of the Titans?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is Tennessee and that high-powered, volatile offense that essentially the air raid that they have there with new Heisman frontrunner Hendon Hooker. He's taking the betting favorites now over C.J. Stroud. And then you've got just that overall level of talent at Georgia, the speed, the size, the athleticism. It's going to be so much fun. I have Georgia taking this. I think there's an easy way to beat these high-powered offenses. Well, I don't like to say the easy way because they're still going to score in bunches, Tennessee will. But the way you attack these high-powered offenses is you keep them off the field. You make Hendon Hooker watch you play.
Very true.
You pound the rock, run the ball, those short little passes with Stetson Bennett, get Brock Bowers involved, get McConkey involved, get everything going, dink and dunk the ball down the field, control the clock, make sure you score your touchdowns, and Georgia could win by 2 scores.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look, it obviously happened. Georgia, we know what their off-running game is like, and especially as of late. That, I think, is going to help because in the end of the day, in my opinion, Stetson Bennett has to have a completely clean game, okay? Yeah. He cannot throw the 2 interceptions. He cannot start late. He's going to have a clean game. He has to have a clean game, especially if he's going to have to go shot for shot with Hendon Hooker because I believe Hendon Hooker and that offense is going to put up points. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to Georgia. I am definitely, though, believing. I agree with that 100%. You have, especially with Georgia, having that running game, having multiple running backs, magnetizing there, having guys being able to kind of chew up the clock. Brock Bowers going to your tight ends. Now, the thing about Brock Bowers is he can break it open at any time. You know what I mean? So, at the same time, like, that's exactly the thing. Ball control, time of possession. You know what I mean? Keep that fast-paced, high-powered offense off the field. Now, the only thing I would say is to counter that is Hendon Hooker and Tennessee, they don't need that much time to score. You know what I mean?
The most important part, though, the reason you control the clock there is we saw this exact thing happen with Alabama when they played. When they're on there and it's drive after drive after drive after drive, whether you're scoring in bunches or not, that defense gets exhausted. Yes. And it doesn't matter who you have, how many 5-stars you have rotating in, you're going to get tired. So you've got to control the clock to help out your defense because we know Tennessee's going to score points against anybody.
Right.
They've shown that. It doesn't matter who you throw in front of them, they're scoring points. So help out your defense, give them a break. Yeah, and right there, I think whoever has the cleaner game will win.
Yep, absolutely. Now they're going to be in Athens. They're going to be at Georgia. That's the thing. Now, obviously, we know Tennessee Neyland Stadium is a lot, maybe a little bigger than that, but
a little bit,
still, they're going to have some noise in there. It's going to be loud in Georgia. And then Andrew comes. Go Gators. What?
I think they're going to take A&M today. It sounds like a lot of those A&M players are out with a flu.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Colin sent that in our group chat this morning, and I think the Gators got that game today.
Oh, watch out now. Vols' run defense is not so great. Got to pound the rock, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Robinson Edwards today. I agree. I like that. And got to play man against the receivers. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you got to go too high, man. You absolutely have to.
Because I know a lot of people are talking about Hyatt, and rightfully so with the season that he's had, almost 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It helps when you have 5-1 game, but but still Still, that's 9 more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After that. So come on now. He's definitely up there. But let's be honest, Charles Tillman is still the guy on that team. He's still that top tier receiver on that team. And he's been overshadowed, but he's still got it. They got a couple other guys. So we will definitely see. But look, let's go ahead and go on down the list, because another game that is directly related to that one, number 6, Alabama, who was defeated 52-49 against Tennessee, by Tennessee, I mean. Now going up against LSU and Brian Kelly, accent and all, man. This one, I mean, it has implications all over the place, man. LSU wins this thing, moves themselves up. All of a sudden, you got quality wins over Bama, and now wait a minute, you might be in that conversation. What are you thinking about this, man?
Well, and this is the driver's seat for who makes the SEC championship out of this division.
Yeah.
Because if LSU gets the win over Bama, if I'm not mistaken, none of their other losses are in division, because they lost the cross-division game to Tennessee, and they lost to Florida State week 1.
Yeah.
So if LSU wins this, they're in the driver's seat to go to the SEC championship game. I'll say I have an issue with them being ranked 10. I don't like that.
Really?
I have a problem with it. I get that they're on a roll now, and the reason they did it, it's how they structure the top 25. So everyone comes in with their top 25, and then they put it all up on the board, and same with the point system for the AP, and say, okay, this is our top 25. Does anyone have any issues? And if anyone says they have an issue, then they give them a clean slate and say, okay, rank your 1 through 4. And then as soon as they said that 1 through 4, then they go 1 through 6. And if those top 2 teams are set, then they lock them. You don't even discuss them anymore. Then you go 3 to 6, 3 to 8, and you slide down like that.
Oh, wow.
So LSU and Ole Miss got discussed at the same time. Well, LSU beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So then you have to slide them above Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss only has the 1 loss, LSU 2.
Right.
And this just sets up for a very likely scenario where the SEC could have 3 playoff teams.
That is craziness.
Because Tennessee has wins over both these teams listed on the screen here.
Yeah.
And then if Georgia goes and beats Tennessee, and then say Alabama wins this and beats Georgia in the SEC championship, then you've got 1 loss Georgia, 1 loss Bama, 1 loss Tennessee, who all have wins over each other. And I think you slide them in with the winner of Ohio State and Michigan. But I agree with Colin. I think LSU takes this one because Alabama still struggles on the road.
Yep. And
LSU has the team to take those shots and play a lot like Tennessee did. Especially Death Valley at night. That's not going to be a fun game.
Exactly. I was about to say, the atmosphere at night is going to be electric. And, hey, look, LSU is primed and ready to go. Jalen Daniels, we've seen what he's been able to do this year.
He's on fire right now.
Oh, exactly. You know, he struggled early, but look, they've been playing great. They do have those 2 losses, but getting a win like this, talk about a quality win late in the season. I mean, like you said, the road is right in front of them. So we're going to see. Got some people out here. Bama's going to destroy them. Wow, roll tide, low tide. LSU by 6. Let's get it. I love it. Let's go. Yeah, so, that's going to be an interesting one. But another one that actually directly affects me being a Tar Heel, number 4, Clemson playing Notre Dame. Notre Dame at 5-3. We know the losses they had. We know early in the year they lost to Marshall. We know the first game where they lost to Ohio State, but I do not think that loss was indicative of how kind of struggling they were. I think that was it was bad momentum. They played great in that game. You know, they say that.
Yeah. See, I think the Ohio State game is more indicative of how they are than the Marshall game because they went toe-to-toe with one of the top teams in the country in their stadium.
Right.
So they went shot for shot with them, and Ohio State stole it late. But Notre Dame is still a very good football team. I know they're 5-3, lost to Marshall, but they've still got some quality wins.
Right.
So this is a team that's dangerous. I think Clemson might be overlooking them. And again, South Bend at night, it's not going to be fun for Clemson to go cross part of the country there and go try and play them. I don't like their chances tonight.
No. And honestly, look, we know what Notre Dame could do. They beat us. They put up 45 on us. They were able to beat BYU when they were ranked 16th. Look, that defense is absolutely it's legit. I mean, they come to play. And even all year, you talk about the Ohio State game, that defense was on full display that first week of the season. So, hey, I'm with you, man. I think it could happen. I will say Clemson is 8-0. They're undefeated. Somehow they get it done. I thought NC State was going to get them. I thought, you know what I mean? I thought a couple
of
teams were going to get them. Right. So they have proved that they are still the cream of the crop. And they're still. I love Notre Dame, but I think Clemson's going to keep rolling, man. I think they're going to keep rolling. We'll see.
I just look at the common opponent here.
Yeah.
It took Clemson everything they had, including throwing their backup quarterback in to beat Syracuse.
True.
And Notre Dame went last week and beat the absolute brakes off of Syracuse.
Yeah, it was ugly.
So it was ugly. I think that defense for Notre Dame is going to do just enough at home. I got Notre Dame by like 3.
I love it. Do we know the weather?
It said it was going to be about 50 degrees at kickoff.
50 at kickoff, starting at 7:30 p.m. So by 9:30, might be a little nip. A little chill in the air. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, my guy. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Hughes, a couple weeks ago, came on this show and told us Oklahoma would beat Kansas by 14 points. At the time, Kansas was ranked top 50, definitely top 25.
I want to say 19, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't quite top 10, yeah.
Yeah. And he said that Oklahoma was unranked and actually playing they had just came from getting their butts kicked against Texas 49-0. But Tanner said it. Oklahoma would win by 14. They won by double digits. They only won by 10. But shout out to you. Your name is in lights. My
you
guy.
You still called
man.
your shot.
That's right.
Wow.
Let's go. Folks have been drinking in Baton Rouge since 3 p.m. yesterday and pregame since this morning. Throwing LSU band and Death Valley is going to be lit. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
Oh, yeah. And they have that tiger in the cage. Man, come on, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So, Clemson versus Notre Dame. Now, let's go to you. Let's stay right. You got 4, then we go to 5. Number 5, Michigan playing Rutgers. What are you thinking about this one? Is this a test Rutgers? Greg Schiano, man.
Not this year.
Nothing. Okay.
I think this is a little tune-up game before, like, we get these guys, Nebraska, and then 2 very tough games in Illinois, who right now is the number 1 defense in the nation by most metrics.
Oh yeah.
And then Ohio State. So I think we win this running away. I think backups get some playing time, and this is just fine-tuning some things before those 2 big games.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Do you? Is there any chance that you overlook this one? Is there any chance that you just kind of?
I think as fans, there's definitely a chance, but I think the players, they're so locked in right now. This is they want that OSU game with everything on the line, so they're going to do everything in their power to get there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, got to come home. Since you went your way, I'm going to go my way. Number 17, North Carolina, finally putting some respect on her name. Game has actually started right now. 2nd and 6 from Virginia. North Carolina, 7-1, in the top 20 for the first time this year. We know about Drake May. Look, I'm going to go ahead and pull up their schedule. We have Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and NC State after this game. So not looking past this game, but if we get this W and win the next 3, I mean,
you guys can show your feet here. Absolutely.
We need to be in that conversation, Alex. I mean, talk to me.
Yeah, I think every win's going to move you up 3-4 spots because there's enough of these matchups higher above you that are going to knock some of these teams down. So I think with this win, you guys will slide inside the top 15. And then beating Wake Forest, you said next week?
Yeah.
If they're still ranked, we'll probably slide you guys into the top 10. And then you look at it, and NC State is still a big-time game. whether they're ranked at that point or not. That's still a big game. You guys could be in that top 7 or 8 and in that conversation by the time you play Clemson.
Right. And so that will be huge. Drake May is having you mentioned it. I have too.
Season.
Hey, a Heisman-like season. Like, so I know he's the freshman, but he's been playing out of his mind. And he stepped up to every challenge. You want to talk about moxie? I am so excited to see what happens. But today is one of those games. This has always been a rivalry, UNC versus Virginia. And I know they've been playing poor. We've discussed them all year and how Armstrong has just not played up to it. Coach Tony Elliott, has just been struggling. And that tends to happen. But I definitely still do not want to overlook these guys. Definitely don't want to overlook these guys. Andy said, come on, bro. I've seen the first half and how they handle it down in Athens. But we're talking about the Cajuns, bro. These folks have a holiday where they drink all week. Yep. You right, man. Yeah, we know how they get down there. We absolutely know. In Nolans. Yo, come on with it. Yo, couple other games on the docket. we can stick in the Big Ten. Penn State versus Indiana. I honestly think, don't sleep on Indiana. I understand they're not ranked, but talk to them, because Indiana is one of the more legit teams, especially one of the more legit unranked teams that have had some unfortunate losses, but they've been toe-to-toe in every game they played.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we talked about Notre Dame's record not being indicative of how good a team they are. You can make the exact same argument for Indiana. Yep. These guys have gone toe-to-toe with pretty much everybody they've played, whether it's been in their house or on the road. Like, it took Michigan 3 quarters and a bit to pull away from Indiana. That was a dogfight for a while. And they play you tough, they play you physical, they play you right down to the wire. So, to me, Penn State, I still think, is going to win this. They'll pull away late, especially after probably how they're feeling after that loss last week. Yeah. They were in that game for so long, and then it was bam, 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 done. Yep. Like,
they had opportunities to put it away.
Yeah.
They just,
Yeah. So I think Penn State by about 10, but this is it'll be a fun game to watch. If you don't know what to watch, take a look at this one.
Definitely do that. Kate said, sorry, I missed this, Kate. We got to tighten up our red zone offense and passing before the big games against Illinois and OSU. Well,
yep.
Absolutely.
She's absolutely right.
Absolutely.
And I think what it is more aggressive play calling. Because we take those chunk plays, get down to like the 30, and then it's all those runs.
Yeah.
So you still got to run your play action passes and your throw out of the gun a little bit and just be more aggressive with it. Yeah. I think they've got all the talent there. There's no question about that. It's just these first year play callers.
Yeah.
Take your shots, step on their throat.
Yeah. You're going to have more of an opportunity to do that, especially with these guys. A lot of times you're going to be going up against younger guys. Maybe, you're not going to always have these experienced guys at corner. You're going to have freshmen come in there, or freshmen and sophomore. Take your shot, take your chance. And what that does is it gives your wide receiver, the knowledge that, hey, you believe in me. Okay, give me that opportunity. Yep. So, definitely, I'm with you on that. What are some of the games that you had your eye on?
To me, I'm looking at an unranked one. I'm going Oklahoma Baylor. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Two teams that are kind of going in opposite directions. Baylor was on fire to start the year. They're kind of hitting a slump. Oklahoma, we know how bad they were and how harsh I was on them to start the season. They're on that incline now. They're about to be bowl eligible. So I'm definitely looking at that game. Liberty, Arkansas will be a lot of fun. As I said earlier, Liberty making that push to be in that New Year's Six Bowl as that Group of 5 team. And Arkansas is a tough test for them, especially going to Arkansas. You're going to get a heavy dose of the run. Let's see how you can handle it. And then for me, another interesting one is Syracuse off that downfall last week against going to Pitt.
Yeah.
And Pitt's a lot of fun to watch all the time. So that's another sneaky good game.
Oh, absolutely. We know what they have at quarterback. JT Daniels is there, right? That's not
Keaton Slovis.
Slovis is there, right? We know what they have. Yeah, JT Daniels at West Virginia. We know what they have at quarterback, but also a Benaconda at running back. We've seen
so much fun.
Right. He had 300-yard game a couple weeks back. He gave us everything we could handle, put up over 100 against North Carolina. He's one of the best running backs, I believe, already over 1,000 rushing yards this season. He's definitely one of the top running backs and running for that Doak Walker Award at the end of the year. Definitely, watch out for Pitt. I'm loving that. A game that I mentioned to you earlier in the day, James Madison, JMU, going up against Louisville. You guys know I've been very high on Louisville this year. Malik Cunningham, who is the poor man's version of Lamar Jackson, who was, senior's predecessor at Louisville. I love what their offense does. They've been in most of the games they've played this year, including back and forth game they played with high-powered Florida State. So I love that. But look, JMU, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about they were one of the last undefeated teams in the land. Ended up taking the L. But this one, you talked about it before, fireworks. This one I think is back and forth. I'm thinking 38-34, late in the game. But I can't help me with this. I can't figure out who I'm going for. I mean, I love Louisville. I love JMU. JMU is my home. I went to JMU for a little bit of time. Ladies and gentlemen, 6% female, 40% male. Go to JMU. Let's go. What? Nothing. What? I didn't say that, babe. What? I love you, babe. Yo, but talk to me about this one, man. What do you think about this one, man?
It absolutely depends on what Louisville we get. If we get the Louisville that came in and beat the tar out of Wake Forest last week, I'm on Louisville all day.
Yes.
But if we get the one that's been so up and down all year, even within the same game, give me James Madison all day because they're a steady, solid team.
Absolutely. So loving that. And last but not least for me, Wake Forest and NC State. This game definitely has 100% all of our attention because we want to know what happens to this one. Like we said, we're playing Wake Forest next. They are ranked 21, but if they lose this one, they will most likely be out. And then NC State, they're 22. Without Leary, they're not the same team. So I'm definitely looking to see what happens in this one. I'm excited for it. I'm expecting a high-scoring game, but realistically, without Leary, Franklin has not been the best at backup at NC State. Is this going to be close? Because we know what happened, what's good on A.T. Perry, Sam Hartman at Wake Forest, but NC State, is this going to be a close one, man?
I don't think so. I think this is Wake Forest, especially after the game they had last week. I think they're kind of embarrassed a little bit. I think they're going to come set the world on fire with this game. I think they run away early.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So look, ladies and gentlemen, there are many other games out there. Shout out the ones in the comments, which you want to see and what you're going to be paying attention to. I'm going to have it on 4 or 5. So, to say I'm paying attention to one is a lie. I'm going to be focused on a lot of these. But we're going to go into some of our upset picks going into this week. And I'm going to start here. Texas ranked 24. I think they're getting the upset against Kansas State. We were talking about it last week. Kansas State, we knew they were going to get the upset against Oklahoma State that they played. We knew it was going to happen. It definitely came to fruition. Adrian Martinez at quarterback, the guy that used to play at Nebraska, and Deuce Vaughn, double Deuce, my guy, my number.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to them. And we knew they were going to do it, but I think there was a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, a lot of that spent on that game, and I think they're going to come out flat today. I think Texas.
I agree.
Do you agree with that? Yeah. So talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's the absolute same thing. Texas is still looking to kind of do some damage in this Big 12 here. I don't think they're really going to make the Big 12 title game this year with that extra loss, but you never know. All this chaos could happen here. But I think Texas wants to show that they haven't fallen off like they do every other year. So I think this is kind of a Quinn Ewers redemption game where I expect like something along the line of 3 touchdowns, 1-0 or 1 picks, a very solid game from Ewers in that offense. And I think they just got the talent to take this game over.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I can definitely see it happening. And look, we've seen what happens, especially once he's come back, Quinn Ewers, and they have arguably one of the best running backs in the nation, and the wide receiver, one of the best at that position as well. So watch out for him. I definitely think they can happen. What are one of the upsets you're calling today?
So I'm looking at. I mean, I called a few of them already. LSU over Alabama. I got that one. I'm still rolling Notre Dame over Clemson. They seem to be a common one for me, Clemson this year. But I'm doing that one. I'm looking at Pitt to take out Syracuse.
Yep.
And let's see. That's all I got.
I'm gonna throw one out there. And I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but I feel it's necessary, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't try to just throw it out there and see. We've talked about it, and a shout out to our guy, Mr. Alec Stromberg, who sit here and has this issue with TCU. They always seem to play quarterbacks when they're hurt. They're you know what? I'm gonna give you one, man. There's a team that people have been sleeping on. It's Texas Tech. I'm thinking Texas Tech is going to pull that upset today. They've been going toe to toe with a number of teams this year, and I know
they beat Texas.
Right. I know their record is 4-4, but they beat Texas. They've been in there in those games. They're getting this W. They're down 7-0, so that lets you know I'm doubling down that is happening. But yeah, they've been in it. Beat Texas, like you said. They put up 28 on Kansas State, 31 on Oklahoma State. Haven't won them all, but they put 48 in a 48-10 win over West Virginia. They've gotten it done, and I fully believe that they can make it happen today. Outside of that, I think I'm pretty much the same with you. I'm looking at these right here. Michigan State over Illinois, Cat. No, I don't want to do that. I saw they play last week, and they're in. And unfortunately, we know that situation. They don't have half their defense, so they will not be doing it. Virginia right now is up 7-3 on us. Hey, Northwestern is still 0-0 against Ohio State. Their chance.
Yeah, that won't last long. No.
Yeah, that's nice. It's already going to be done.
As for TCU, there, I think they escape. I think it's by one score, within 3 to 7, somewhere in there. I'll call it now, and I've been saying it. I think they lose next week. Next week's their downfall. They go to Austin to play the Longhorns.
Yes.
I think that's where they finally fall.
7:30 that night on ABC, 11-12, November 12th. They will go up to Texas, and then look, after that, it's no rest for the weary. They got Baylor that they got to play, who has been playing up recently, and Iowa State, who has given everybody trouble. So watch out. TCU. It's going to be a gauntlet coming towards the end, and then getting into that potential Big 12 championship. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting one. So they're currently up 7-0. So those are our upset picks for today. We'll see what happens. But look, we're about to end the show, but you know how it goes, man. My coach at Washington, his name Riverboat. His coach in the NFL, my coach at Washington, the Commanders. His coach likes to bite kneecaps and
we don't know
ankles.
How to kick, so
we don't. So look, we're gonna go ahead and do it. We don't care. Balls to the wall. Damn the torpedoes. We're going for 2. Yes, sir. Going for 2, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the show, my guy, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. You hold me accountable. You hit me up. You say, hey, what's going on? What's it? We're doing something here, and I really love it. So my going for 2 is tell people that you do these things with, that you're on these shows, that you hang out with. I appreciate you. I could not do this without you. I know you were like, oh, you're straight. You can do this. No, Alex. I come to you for a lot of this, and there's a lot of times where I'll throw you a question or throw you something, and I'll be like, Oh shit, let me write that down real quick. I didn't know that. Oh wow, thank you, Alex. So I absolutely appreciate you coming on, and that goes for everybody that's on anything that has to do not only with Let's Talk Football, but North Sports, Dynasty, Buck Sport, all of those, because we're all just trying to talk football. Like whatever the extra goals are, the external goals are after this, or what we want to bring to this. We just want to talk football and have our voice heard. You know what I mean? We're not sitting here and what people might deem as experts. But you know what? I don't know, because we put in so much time in actually studying and looking this stuff up. We know something, and I'm not going to sit here and shy away from that. Yeah. Everybody that is represented in the Let's Talk Football family or in the NSD Bucks, any of those, all of our affiliates, they know what they're talking about. Nobody comes on these shows that doesn't have knowledge of what's going on, and we put in that time. And it's not just he's good because you like him or this. It's real stuff, man. So shout out to him, man, because it takes. We all have full-time jobs that are not this. Yeah. So we have stuff else that we have to do. So we put in extra time to do this and bring it to you. We appreciate y'all, but I appreciate you, my guy, man, because without you, we wouldn't be able to do all this. So, man, thank you so much, man. That's my going for two, man.
Well, I'll fire that right back at you, because that last sentiment you just said is absolutely true. Without you, none of this is happening. None of this Let's Talk Football stuff is happening. So, thank you. Everything right back at you. Yeah. I fully agree with everything you said with Let's Talk Football, with North Sports Dynasty, with Bucks Report, with everybody that we've ever been involved with. It's absolutely true. Yeah. My going for two is more back to football related, is just buckle up. This is the time of year where big time games, big time matchups, everything matters. Yes. So just buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Let's go. I cannot wait. I love it. And like I said, hey, from here on out, at least throughout the month of November, you're going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. So you're going to have a little bit of something every night of the week, with the exception of Monday. And if you're an NFL fan, you can go and watch
Monday too. You got literally every day.
This is it. This is, they talk about Christmas being the best time of the year, and it's beautiful. But this right now is the best time of the year, the best month for football. And, hey, couldn't ask for any other way, man. I love this. Yeah. I love this. I love talking about it. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, the games have already started. There are several games going on right now. Definitely tune in, hit it. We're going to get off here and definitely watch some of these games. Got to figure out what the heck's going on with my damn Tar Heels already losing. Come on, man.
The ship. They'll be fine.
I know. Hey, Drake May, baby. Drake May. Already got us a field goal. We're good. Yo, this is Let's Talk College Football. It's your boy, Sean Spencer. My guy, the true blue, maize and blue Michigan, Alex Loosemore. Alex, yo, we're out of here, man.
Yeah, let's go enjoy some college football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we're gonna show you all the video of all of the Let's Talk Football shows. Enjoy it. We'll see you next time. Peace. We appreciate you being here. Bye.